Personnel Board meeting? Thank you. I'd like to call to order the Personnel Board meeting for February 28, 2021, and it is 2:44. And could you just let me know who's here? I know I am.
I am.
Which is
Betty's
Betty.
here?
Betty Ann.
Yeah.
You say your name.
Betty Ann.
Okay, Ellie Chesbro's here too.
Okay. So that's it? There's no one else?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, so we have a quorum. The minutes from last meeting for January 28, 2021. I just wanted to make a couple of corrections here. It says annual reviews. Kristen asked the town administrator. I haven't asked him for the reviews. I know
Oh, okay.
a lot of, yeah, I hadn't asked him that at that time. I was inquiring about job descriptions and things like that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I don't think, we don't want to keep the annual reviews.
No.
I don't think we should see them either.
Right.
No, we just wanted that they were completed. Remember they
Right.
kept changing the times
Right.
last time? So
So should I just-
2019, go ahead.
Should I just take that out completely?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Like I said, last year, we were still waiting for 2019 this
Right.
past year, you know? We never received,
Right.
so I don't know what the status is, whether they're done. Okay, and the other thing was missing job descriptions. I just requested job descriptions and positions are missing. And that's, I wanted to say we requested it from the town administrator.
Okay.
Okay, and that's it. I didn't see really anything else. So can I get a motion to accept the amended minutes for January 28, 2021 as amended?
So move.
I second.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye, Ellie Chesbro.
Okay, so we're all set. All right, so the second thing was the annual reviews on the agenda. Like I said, my question was, did they ever do reviews? Now it's going to be 2020 reviews. So I don't know how to continue with that as far as like, hopefully they have done their reviews. I mean, they didn't keep us in the loop, so we really don't know. So you could still keep it on for the next general, so maybe Matt will come to one of these meetings, or I can email him. What do you suggest?
I'd suggest emailing him.
I would too.
Just email and request and just ask if they were done. Okay, we'll do.
Yeah.
Okay, the next is missing job descriptions. I listed all of those that we still haven't received. And then I still didn't get any feedback or reply from the town administrator. So I'm sort of hung up as far as like, I know it's actually in policy and procedures. We're supposed to see the job descriptions, and that's not been done. So,
when you requested them from the town administrator, did you say as it is put into the policies and procedures manual, and at what section it was in or whatever, just so that he knows that he's supposed to provide them to us or somehow.
right. Okay, I'll look up that formal thing, see what it says. Okay. All right. And of course, longevity, I didn't have that there, but I put it in myself. The longevity thing, that's still something that needs to be asked of the town administrator. What's the status of that? So I'll ask them that as well.
Okay.
All right. Now, goodness. We, let me see. Same with job descriptions online. Job description template. Did you ladies have a chance to review what we would need to add to that template?
I liked it. It was so simple.
Yeah, I know, but there's areas, like, I didn't continue putting on, oh, where is, wait a minute. I got it right here. Okay. I just, when I had set up the template, I was just listing things and try to combining things. But things like accountability, it's like, I think that should be added. And judgment, you know, where the duties and responsibilities is basically a combination of what they do and what their responsibilities are. But we had other things in our rating system, you know, like occupational risk and physical requirements, which should probably be under manual skills. And I think working environment.
Tell Mama not to forget her computer backups.
Okay, so what I want to do is basically there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 6 items here, and I wanted to basically add a few more so that, you know, as far as when we review the job description, we know that it's incorporating all the things that would be under an evaluation.
Right. I think we should list them all.
Okay. So what I'll go through is I'll go back through the template we have and stop pulling the ones that we have on our basically our system. Since I have no idea what their procedure is. I kept reading over, where is here?
Come get your shoes on, kiddo.
Okay, here. See, the thing is, that I see it says here the town administrator. This is policy and procedures, page 16. Okay, it says here the town administrator shall forward recommended updates to the town's uniform system for approval. And then it says it appears in attachment D. So I'm trying to understand his uniform system because they mention it over here as far as town administrator using the standard uniform practices now. Not a procedure here. But system. It says here the town administrator using standard uniform practices will assign positions to classification subject to the approval of the Board of Selectmen. And then it starts talking about the minimum qualifications of classes, positions prescribed by the personnel administrator and shall be based on minimum qualifications established by the department heads and an examination of work content of positions allocated to the class. And then C, a study of comparable positions in the service of other municipalities. So I'm not sure what he's calling the system, which is the attachment D, is actually the compensation package. Because when you look up attachment D, it's a compensation package. So I'm just curious on what they're talking about here, because
So why do you think we have to do anything here? It looks like it's all in his hands because he's the personnel director or whatever. It didn't say the personnel committee. it's,
No,
There's very little mention of us in any of it.
yeah.
yeah, see, I'd like clarification on that because, like I said, they're talking about town's uniform system. The system being attachment D, and that classification basically comes from what do you call it? The system that we use. You know, everything there in that compensation package is exactly what we use. You know,
Right.
all of, so this other thing here is like, I don't quite understand uniform. Anyways, I'll look where it says he's supposed to give us those.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Here it says here, I got it. On the bylaw, yeah, page 5. The board shall make recommendations to the town administrator regarding content of written job descriptions subject to this bylaw and specifications of classes in the classification plan for the administration of this bylaw. That's F. Stop it. Amendment. Yeah. You know, so F, we're supposed to get the job description. And it says the board, under E, the board shall annually review the provisions of the plan and make recommendations to the town administrator regarding actions that are necessary to maintain the plan and all policies, fairly equity. Such recommendations made after the approval of town administrator and final approval by the selectmen take form of an article of warrant for consideration by any annual or special meeting, provided that such action is in conformance with the general bylaws of the town. So, like
Well,
I said,
we haven't done that for quite a while.
well, like I said, F tells us that we are supposed to be seeing these job descriptions,
Right.
you know? So I'm not getting the job descriptions, and I'd like to know how difficult it is, because I think, didn't you email them the job descriptions, Betty?
I gave it to them on a disc.
Yeah,
You know,
and they should
everything that we had and all the updates that we did, I gave them all the newest job descriptions that we had.
Right, but we have not received any for 2019. Even
No,
after we have not received any. So that's what I'm
Right,
saying. We're
we
supposed to be receiving something, and we're not. I mean, that's part of our job, is to review them and stuff. It says right there.
Right.
So does it say it in the procedures manual, policies and procedures manual, or does it say it in the bylaw? That's our job.
I think Chris said the bylaw.
It's in the bylaw. It's page 5.
Okay, so
Number F.
does the bylaw need to be changed and wipe out the personnel board, or and just leave it in the hands? Because right now there is a conflict, it seems, of who's doing what. And so it's, I don't know, maybe, I mean, I feel that they should be consistently written, so the bylaw agrees with the policies and procedures manual, and vice versa. And
Right.
not.
Mm-hmm.
One way or another, they should agree.
And so should we tell the town administrator, or ask the town administrator to to revise the bylaw so it reflects better what is actually happening. And it's not a general bylaw, it's just a personnel bylaw, so.
Right.
Right. Well,
If we don't see the job descriptions, what are we going to do?
Yeah, right.
I mean, is there any need for us?
well, frankly, it's like, I think we should get the bylaws, as most personnel boards, I'm sorry, job descriptions. I'm sure most personnel boards of towns get job descriptions. I know I read in Webster they do. Anyways,
And if they ever got put online, they'd be available to us.
right. But brand new ones, you know, when he gets new jobs, we used to get them and then rate them and stuff like that. And now it's like we don't
Right.
get anything. Yeah, anything or any
No.
communication as far as like
Right.
being ignored, you know? So, I don't really know how to proceed, to tell you the truth. I think,
If we don't get any response when we ask
Yeah.
something, I mean,
mhm.
what are we supposed to do?
Right.
Contact the selectmen then,
Right.
and that's about the only thing you can do. Or ask the selectmen, ask the town administrator to join a meeting or respond to the questions.
Well, I gave an invitation to this meeting because everything on this meeting is basically needs feedback from the town administrator because we haven't gotten any. So I don't know, it was tough for me getting on Zoom this time. I kept saying the meeting was, when I did it, for the first of, it was January's meeting. It's like, give me a break. That's not right. Oh. So,
That's why originally I had said that I felt that in the procedures manual, there should be some mention of the personnel board and say if we have any duties. If not, I don't see the need for us. If he wants to do everything without us, what are we doing?
yeah, I know, but the personnel board was set up. I mean, I haven't been on it that long, but it was set up basically because they needed some sort of system in place, right? To rate the people so that they were compensated for their position.
There was no uniformity between departments. That's why we were formed, because anybody could give their secretary or their assistant whatever they wanted, vacations or sick days, or pay them or not pay them, raises, there was no uniform raises. Your boss might put you in for, a $5 an hour raise, and the person down the hall got 50 cents raise.
Yeah. So.
But then also, there was no place to go with grievances. And that was going to be another big part of our, not that there are very many grievances, but right now, that if a person has a grievance, they're kind of out of luck.
I know, especially that, what was it, 4 point something that I mentioned last time? Where
right.
You can mention it, but then you got to wait another 2 years.
Right.
You can mention
right.
it again. Come on. Well, so as far as, I hate going over the administrator's head, but I feel like he hasn't even, done anything to help us continue with the personnel board. And I remember reading the document that was given before Matt took over, and which the selectmen had written to us as far as what was our, duties and stuff. And most of that they basically extinguished.
Right.
So
Well, I think they're going by the special act that created the town administrator, the town administrator, whatever, being in charge of personnel. And then they also say in there that the personnel board, and I've heard Matt say several times, that the personnel board will be advisory only, not policy making or anything like that. And I've heard him say in a couple of town meetings, and maybe in another type of meeting, oh, the personnel board is still needed because I need to bounce off ideas with them. But he's never done it.
Right. And if we don't get information,
Yeah.
what kind of advice can we give?
Yeah, right. And we're only advisory according to the special act. So in
Right.
there it says
Right.
we're only advisory.
I don't know where we go from here. Like you say, you hate to go
know.
over his head, but I'm sure we could all find other things too if they don't want us.
Yeah.
I
But
hear
I
you
think
there.
if to knock us out, which would be fine, I don't mind being eliminated as a board, but I think that the bylaw, if it's going to stay in place, needs to be consistent with the procedures and policy manual.
Right.
And it doesn't sound like it is. I haven't.
I
Right,
agree
'cause-
with you.
The bylaw does say that we make recommendations to the town administrator regarding content of written job descriptions subject to this bylaw. And that's in the bylaw, in the update, which even though they crossed out all stuff and made us advisory, it still says we're supposed to get job descriptions.
Right.
And my concern is, okay, where are they? We're not getting them.
Right.
So, do you think a letter would do, as far as like, I don't know how we could get to a meeting with the selectmen. They meet what, Tuesdays?
Yeah.
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 I don't think we need to go to a meeting. I mean, that sounds kind of confrontational. I think
Right. Yeah.
a letter would suffice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
So we're
asking
working
them.
on a letter. Pardon?
Well,
I
I was
didn't catch
thinking
you.
just asking them for advice of how to resolve what you want to do with the personnel board. And in doing so, you have to somehow revise or amend the personnel bylaw or delete it, get rid of it.
Right. And also, don't forget too, also in the personnel bylaw, they added that 24-month thing, which is outrageous,
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, that's an item that I would, how can someone turn around and say your employee can ask you something or whatever, and then they can't do it for another 24 months?
That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. It's like a gag order. I mean, don't put a gag order on me.
Any of us.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the thing. I was thinking the employees. It's like, imagine that, and you could show that to them here. You said that, don't want to hear it again. Like, who's keeping a calendar on this? Do they list it? Oh, goodness. All right. So how about if we work on a letter then?
Okay.
Okay. And also, I mean, we might want to say, it just be not confrontational, but suggestions, and saying that it would be really nice to have the job descriptions online. Maybe we suggest,
Yeah.
and that and a copy would be sent to the selectmen.
Right.
Just ask them
Okay.
to, ask them to
Hmm?
define our role.
To define our role. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, who would that go to? You just put the letter to the Douglas Selectmen?
I put
Yeah.
it to Matt, to the town administrator, and then copy it to the Board of
The
Selectmen.
Selectmen?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. I think that's about it. Like I said,
There was one,
not much fun.
there was one more thing. I said I would check into the sick bank.
Oh,
And
yeah. Okay.
it is still being used and it's updated, and actually on employees' pay stubs, it shows how
Mhm.
many days they have contributed to the sick bank.
Okay. But we really don't see anything.
No.
No.
I mean, no one's used it that I know of in
Yes.
yeah, maybe 10 years.
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
think the, somebody I know, has used it, to, because he was having another kid and he was having surgery and he got approved.
Oh, okay.
Just about a year or two ago, so.
Okay, well, another thing we don't know about.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I remember you ladies telling me about some sick bank thing, and I was like, oh, that sounds nice and all that. And it's like, I never heard any more about, oh, well, it's maintained by so-and-so, and they give us an update or something. It's like, I don't even know who to contact.
Yeah, I would,
You
I
know?
mean, Jean Lovett probably would know who.
Yeah, well, it must be through her off. I used to do it, but when I retired, she took it over. So that's when they bought the new payroll
Software.
accounting thing,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
on there, as well
Okay.
as their vacation time that they've built up and their sick time and everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, you can inquire about that too.
Mm.
All right. Okay, the longevity thing, like I said, I still don't know anything on that. It's, it's still up in the air. I can inquire about that also. All right, I'll work on a letter. Okay.
Okay.
And like I said, the job template, I'll add those other items from what our evaluation manual says.
Mm-hmm.
So incorporate that, and I'll forward it to you ladies. And then we'll work on the letter. Okay. So, okay. So policy and procedures, bylaw, and job descriptions. Okay, is there any new business?
I have none.
Neither do I.
Okay. All right, ladies. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Well,
Do you
when are
want
we
to
gonna meet
set
again?
it?
Next
Yeah.
meeting. I'm sorry. Where's my calendar? Okay, next meeting. How about the 18th of March?
That's
It's a
good for
Thursday.
me.
That's fine with me.
It's okay, 2:30, same time?
Mhm.
Yep.
I think I'm going to put 2 o'clock, though. Even though our meeting will start at 2:30, I think because I'm struggling to get into this thing, if I can get on around
Okay.
2. All right, so 2:30 on the 18th.
Okay.
All right. So can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.